So this is a algebraic kind of equation. So it says algebraically, like right there. So we want to make sure that we know what that means. And so basically all I need to do is replace these numbers into here to figure out whether it gives me a true statement. So remember, like when you're graphing these, 4 kinds of things could happen. You can either get double shade, no shade, or one of each color, okay? So if I replace in this equation here, X and Y, I'm going to ignore this temporarily. Let's just pretend it wasn't there. And I'm going to be searching for truth. And the only way I can figure out whether this statement is true or false is to have numbers on both sides. It doesn't make sense with letters, so let's replace. Now remember, it goes alphabetically. So this is the X number, and this is the Y number. So in this statement, when I see Y, I'm going to replace Y with 3. When I see X, instead of writing X, I'm going to replace X with -2. I always do that in a parenthesis, otherwise it's going to look like -3 minus 2, which is not what I want. And then the +2. So all I'm doing is replacing Y with 3, keep the symbol, keep the -3, replace X with the number in question, and then keep copying the exact same. Now all I'm going to do is simplify so that I can compare apples to apples. This is one number, this is lots of numbers, that's annoying. So brain or calculator, -3 and -2 with multiplication means 6. So -3 times -2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. So now it's easier because I've got one number on the left and one number on the right. So now I can decide whether I like that statement or not. And 3 is definitely less than 8, which is true. So here, if I actually asked you to graph this right now, if let's say this was the picture, it's not, but let's just say it was. I know for a fact that this point would be living in one of these regions. Which region? I don't know. It can't be that one, because if this is true, if it's true for at least one of the numbers, it can't be in the non-shaded region. And what I'm trying to figure out is, does this point live in this kind of section, this one, or this one? My hope is that it lives in the doubly shaded section, because then it means that both of these statements are true, which is what I essentially have to do now. I have to double check to see if this statement is true for the second equation. So again, we're looking for 2 truths. So I'm going to take this equation, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to replace Y with 3, and I'm going to replace X with -2. So -2 for X, 3 for Y, and I copied it as is. Create one number. 2 times -2 is -4. -4 plus 1 is -3. And now I check. 3 is greater than or equal to -3. 3 is bigger than -3. That's a truth. So is this a solution? Yes. Okay? So what I'm essentially saying to you is, if you get 2 truths, you are looking at a point that lives in the doubly shaded section. If this turned out to be false, and this turned out to be true, then the answer would be no. In order to be a solution, you need 2 truths. And since this is 2 true statements, you do have yourself a solution.